Hi Vadim, thanks for us today.
It's a pleasure.
The first question is always, what's your background? I know that you come from Ukraine, then you used to live in the UK, and now you live in a different place. So what's your background?
Background is advertising, business management. I've spent 10 years in the media industry, mainly in London.
So now, you represent the standard example of someone who undergone the downshifting process. I mean, you've been in the UK, you pursued some career there, and now you're based in Bali. What was the reason of this profound change?
It is a big change. The reason is hectic lifestyle in London. And while I enjoyed it when I was younger, I think currently I need a way slower pace. And I want to explore the other parts of my personality. So I already proved something to myself. Been involved in a very competitive industry for so many years. Currently, this is not what I enjoy anymore. I'm looking into something different, something more creative, something which brings out a different part of my personality, actually.
So your creativity led you to creation of the coffee shop called F.R.E.A.K. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, I've been a fan of coffee for many years. This is a habit I developed in London, actually. And only recently I discovered fresh roasted coffee when I started to notice that coffee from F.R.E.A.K, product placement, F.R.E.A.K, they started to educate customers about benefits of fresh roasted coffee. And apart from the benefits, there is a big difference. And this is what led me to investigating the fresh roasted concept. When I moved to Bali, it was notoriously difficult to find a place with a decent coffee. And this is how I met my current business partner, when he served me a coffee. And from the very first sip, I realized this is very different to pretty much anything else I've tried. And that led to a lately conversation about the coffee, and eventually led to me being involved in the business.
So your partner, we watched him talking on TED Talk, and he said that once roasted, coffee is a living organism. What did he mean by that?
In a way, yes. Once it's roasted, it's alive. It's a transformation process which somehow unlocks the potential of the coffee bean. Let's not forget, it's a seed. It's not even a bean. If you plant it, a tree will grow out of the coffee bean. So there's a life force. When you roast, it's a transformation. You unlock all the inert oils and then organic components. So it's alive. It emits carbon dioxide for a couple of days. Once this process stops, then oxygen penetrates the bean. It's oxidated, rapidly loses the taste, the aromatic qualities, loses all the health benefits. So it should be treated as a live product.
If we take the instant coffee that normally people do and compare it with what you guys do, what's the principal difference?
Okay, instant coffee, producing instant coffee, it's a quite severe procedure in terms of extracting a certain essence from the coffee beans chemically and making it an instant coffee we know. I don't think that instant coffee is coffee as such anymore, after making so many discoveries about the way the coffee should be consumed. The ancient cultures, coffee cultures, have always made an effort to consume the coffee while it's fresh roasted. People used to roast coffee in small quantities to consume straight away. Now we sacrifice this for quantity, and we have all the supermarkets stocked with enormous amounts of coffee, which end up spending months and months on the shelves. And the instant coffee is just a typical example of sacrificing quality for quantity.
In one of your interviews, you once said that you noticed while living in London that coffee can sometimes stop the time. What did you mean by that?
It's a very curious observation. You're fully aware of the way life in London is. You see that people power walking to the office, talking on the phone, eating the sandwich in the same time. It's kind of hectic. When you have a good cup of coffee, somehow it's changing the mindset. In a way, you somehow change time flow. Everything around moves with a faster pace. You can sit down and kind of people watch. This I used to do. That gave me a chance to recover. So just a mindset, just an alert state which coffee helps me to achieve. Obviously, somehow it changes the perception of what's around.
Well, you used to live in London, and now you're based in Bali. What would you say the main difference between living in those two quite different places?
Once again, it's a different world, if I may phrase it that way. The culture is so much different. The religion here is it's a completely different lifestyle. The environment here is the physical definition of beauty. The landscapes, the palm trees, the ocean, the mountains, every single aspect of the surrounding nature is beautiful. And if you talk about people are different as well. They are more gentle, if my observations are correct. And in terms of business, again, people are not so much business orientated and aggressive in achieving their goals. So stress is pretty much removed from your everyday business interactions, purely because people are relaxed here. The climate and the environment contributes to making people more approachable and gentle.
Any plans going back to a big city sometime?
Sure. We are planning to test drive our concept in Europe. So I think London and Moscow would be obvious destinations to try it. We have some offers from people who took an interest in our concept. So I think in a couple of months we'll be ready to consider it seriously.
I know that you've been a commercial director of one, I think it was a magazine which come up every week with quite large circulation, right? And now you're self-employed, you're entrepreneur. So what's the biggest challenges you faced once you launched F.R.E.A.K Coffee House?
I was a commercial director for a weekly newspaper published in London, and it was a big challenge to run it. It gave me also a huge satisfaction because we managed to achieve some remarkable results. The main difference between working for a newspaper or pretty much anyone else and what I do now is I now work for myself. And this is a conscious decision I've made that I don't want to work for anyone anymore. After the age of 30, I realized I'm pretty much ready to see what I can do myself. Obviously, when you run your own business, it consumes most of your life, particularly on this stage when we are building and developing rapidly. So it's like our backs to the wall. We have to perform, and there is no time to rely on someone else. We have to do it from A to Z ourselves.
Apart from your own enterprise, I know that you also promote Russian culture in Bali and probably in London as well. We read about German Dmitriev that performs the concerts right now. Could you say something about it?
Well, it all began in London again. Last couple of years, I've been heavily involved in many cultural projects happening in London. Russian Zim project, if I may call it that way. Maslenitsa, Russian Winter Festival, Russian Film Festival, and KVN as well. And it gave me a sense of understanding how important this event for the community, for the Russian community, is. This is a bridge between cultures, bridge between the world. So when I moved to the Bali, obviously I've spent a couple of months enjoying the peaceful lifestyle we have here, but then I realized there is there is a niche, there is a need as well to come up with something. So the first not noticeable project I've done was Russian poetry night within the big festival. It's called Ubud Writers Readers Festival. It's one of the biggest in the world. It's in 1/5 or 6th in the world in terms of its size. And I've done many other from that time. German Dmitriev is being the latest project. He arrived here a couple of months ago, or 4 months ago, and his music is exceptional. What he does is a crossover violin style. So he fuses rock music and violin, and it's incredible. And we are looking to kind of make this music popular and make him a star. Actually, there is an ambition to make him a true star.
That's an amazing idea. I know many people who work right now in London, in the office, doing some stuff they're not really enjoying. They probably want to start up and do something else with their life, but they have some doubts. Would you give any advice for them, what they should do or shouldn't?
I'll try to be sincere and direct. One of my friends kept saying that only a rat can win a rat race. And I did realize that London sometimes leads people to develop some qualities which are not human. And that also was a warning signal when I noticed that my personality has been changed to suit the requirements of this very hostile environment. And I think when people make a choice of trying an alternative way of pursuing an idea, of developing an idea they have, working for themselves, I would encourage that. I would encourage that, and I would also remind that we learn from mistakes. It's a cliche, but this is a very useful cliche. We learn from mistakes. So if you have 10 ideas, you try 5 or 6 of them, maybe all 10 of them. One of them will definitely be good. The problem is people don't make decisions. People wait. So if you make decisions, just rely on your intuition and your experience. One of these ideas will work, and then it will change your life dramatically, and it's probably going to change your family life, your next generation life. If you achieve the success as an entrepreneur, that gives you a different world.
That's a cool advice. At the end of our program, we always have a table tennis set of questions. When you ask a simple question with several options as an answers, and you just pick up one.
Okay, let's do that.
Steve Jobs or Bill Gates?
Steve Jobs.
iPhone, BlackBerry or HTC?
BlackBerry.
Tea or coffee?
Tea of coffee. Coffee big time.
Going to a party or staying home?
Staying home.
BMW or Mercedes?
A motorbike, actually. A motorbike called Deuce. Google it, Deuce.
Right. Fruits and vegetables or fast food?
Obvious choice. Fruits and vegetables.
Egg or chicken? What came first?
It gets tricky. Egg first.
Being married or not being married?
Generally, yes, being married.
God believer or atheist?
Yeah, I do believe in supreme power. Let's call it a God. Yes, I do believe that. Vadim Granovskiy, free coffee house, especially for In2up.